Okay, good day class. So today we're going to continue our lecture on mixed methods research. I think last week you had your intramurals, so I guess you have a lot of time to do your work or just simply enjoy. Okay, so what are the reasons for choosing MMR? So first is that the research purpose and research questions require a combination. Let me just check the audio. The, the research purpose and research questions require a combination of qualitative and quantitative methods. So it means that in your statement of the purpose of the research and your questions, it should be a combination of both. It could be that in your first research question, it's quantitative, and then the remaining would be uh, qualitative, and you have a mixed methods question also. So it depends entirely on you. So research questions can be formulated to either provide testable results, which is the quantitative aspect, or to describe and characterize a phenomenon of interest, which is the qualitative, but individually they do not address the primary purpose of the study. So you have to combine those, so that's why you have a third research question, which should answer the mixed methods. So there is insufficient information available in the literature, and there is a need for exploratory research. Right. So moving on to the next slide. So the research expertise. So the research team has expertise in qualitative and quantitative research methods, and how to combine them for mixed methods research can be found and are willing to work together collaboratively. So if in your research team, for example, you have guys that are good in qualitative and quantitative research methods, it would be good to choose MMR. Then for resource, there is funding available to conduct a multi-phase, multi-method study. Then we have also stakeholder priorities. Policymakers want detailed coverage of the problem, including the extent, which is the quantitative, or nature, which is the qualitative, of a problem and how they are interrelated. Then also we have dissemination, and also we have dissemination. So journals accepts mixed methods research papers. So for the next slide, we will discuss the characteristics of MMR. So the first characteristics of MMR is that the collection and analysis of both quantitative and qualitative data to address questions and the hypothesis. This is the first characteristic. Second characteristic is the use of rigorous procedures in conducting quantitative and qualitative research. Third is the integration or combination of the findings from the quantitative results and the qualitative findings. Then we also have the development of procedures in which this data collection, analysis, and integration occurs. This mixed method design and the use of theory and philosophy as it relates to these procedures. So what are the situations where MMR is used? So when you are measuring a concept on an instrument, you have sense that the scores are not telling you the entire story. So if you just ask a few people about the concept, you might obtain a better understanding. So mixed methods research provides a more complete understanding of the research problem than either quantitative or qualitative alone. So it means that, for example, if you just conduct a quantitative study, and then you could see the scores, the statistical results, but you think that something there's something deeper about it. So that's the time when you use MMR, because you could use qualitative data to further investigate the problem on hand. So then another is that you look over the instruments available to study a concept. They were developed from a different sample or population than the one you are studying. So you consider that you'll need to develop an instrument before you can administer it to your sample. So mixed methods is a methodology for developing better, more context-specific instruments. Or you have gathered data about factors that predict a concept on several instruments. Although you have a general information about the importance of predictors, you can only guess as to what explains why the results occurred. So mixed method helps you to explain the results or how mechanisms works in causal models. So this is true because in mixed methods, you analyze different types of data, and when you analyze different types of data, you could find, you could converge that so that you can have a better understanding of what really happened. Then you are conducting an intervention study. You have an intervention that was developed by other researchers. You are not certain that it will work with the sample you are studying. So mixed methods is a way to explore first to determine if an intervention will work. So another one is you want to evaluate the performance of an organization. So this calls for understanding the expected outcome of the organization, their needs and assessment, designing some instruments to measure those outcomes, and then helping why the outcomes occurred. So mixed methods is an approach to tie together several steps in an evaluation process. So decisions on the use of MMR. So if the study will involve one method, so that's qual or quan, qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods, qual and quan, or you do quantitative first, then you do the qualitative, or quantitative, then the qualitative. It just depends on you, the researcher. So if the study includes one phase or multiple phase, how the mixing of qualitative and quantitative method will occur, then if the mixing of methods occurs across all stages of the study. So these are the aspects to consider when planning MMR. First, the timing. Next is the mixing. The mixing is really important because you have two types of data. Then you have the weighing. Then the theorizing. For me, as a researcher, what's the hard part is the theorizing. So you really need to do a lot of research on the theories that you're going to use to develop a conceptual framework of the study, especially in architecture. So the timing. So the timing is the time or phase when the data is collected. So whether it will be in phases, sequentially, or gathered at the same time concurrently. So sequentially, when the data are collected in phases, so it's either the qualitative or the quantitative can come first. So qualitative data are collected first. The intent is to explore the topic with participants at sites. Or quantitative data are collected first. The researcher expands the understanding in which data are collected from a large number of people. So concurrently, both quantitative and qualitative data are gathered at the same time and the implementation is simultaneous. So in short class, you could do it in sequence. Uh, Depends, quantitative or qualitative or concurrent or at the same time. I think in most of our problems in architecture, when we gather data, especially for your thesis, I think sa most of the students that I have observed, they do it sequentially. For example, they collect the quantitative data first before they move into the qualitative data. Then we have the weighing. So, the weighing is the priority given to quantitative or qualitative research in a particular study. So, you could have equal priority, or there's more weight on the qualitative over the quantitative, which is called qual-quant, or more weight in quantitative over the qualitative, or quant-qual. The choice of priority depends on the interest of the researcher, the audience of the study, what the researcher seeks to emphasize in the study. So it depends on what you really want to emphasize. So that's why you should really be well versed on the research topic that you want to do. Then you have the mixing. So when does a researcher mix in a mixed method study? So you could do it in the data collection, the data analysis, interpretation, or all three phases. So how does mixing occur? So you have three methods of mixing. So first is connecting. So connecting is mixing qualitative and quantitative research are connected between a data analysis of the first phase of research and the data collection of the second phase. So here, we collect the quantitative data, move to the qualitative data, then look into the results of the analysis. So here you could observe that we did the quantitative analysis first. We did connected it to the qualitative data. Then we connected the results and analysis. So this is what I have observed that students usually do in architecture. Or you could do also be integrating or merging. So it is done by actually merging the quantitative data with qualitative data. The qualitative data may provide a supportive information about the quantitative data. So you collect the quantitative data and the qualitative data and you merge them in the results. Then we have also the embedding or nesting. A secondary data is embedded within a larger study, having different form as the primary database. Then the secondary data provides a supporting role in the study. So the study could be purely quantitative data, then you embed a bit of qualitative data, or it's a big qualitative data with a few quantitative data, then you're going to look into the results or analysis. So that's how you mix. Then theorizing, which is another aspect to consider when planning an MMR. So whether a larger theoretical perspectives guides the entire research design, you have explicit or implicit, which is not mentioned. In MMR, the theories are found typically in the beginning sections as an orienting lens that shapes the types of questions asked, who participates in the study, how the data are collected, and the implications made from the study. So theories present an overarching perspective used with all of mixed method strategies of inquiry. So theories, if you have multiple theories which we're going to use to solve the problem, then you have already a conceptual framework. So aspects considered in planning MMR, you have the timing, It could be the concurrent, there's no sequence. The weighing is equal. The mixing is integrating. The theorizing is could be explicit. Then you have the sequential, the qualitative first. You have the weighing is more, it's more on qualitative. Then you connect it, the theorizing could be either explicit or implicit. Then we have the sequential, the quantitative first, which is the weighing is more the quantitative, then mixing is more on embedding, then the theorizing is implicit. So these are the symbols, the terminologies for mixed methods design. That's when you see equal with the capital, it's qualitatively oriented project. For Quan, all caps, it's quantitatively oriented project. When you have plus, projects that are conducted simultaneously, you have the arrow to the right. Projects that are conducted sequentially, qual or quan. So where's the dominant project there? So if it's capital, it means that it's the dominant uh, uh, type of research study it's going to do. If it's small letters, it means a less dominant, uh, qualitative or quantitative type of research. So, like again, guys, when you see capital or qual, if it's capital qual and small letters quan, it means that the qualitative is the dominant part of the study with a bit of quantitative. But if it's a capital quan, all big letters, with a small qual, it means that the quantitative aspect is the dominant uh, research type in the project. Let's move on to the next. So, like for example, this one, you have a capital qual plus a small qual. So it means it's qualitatively oriented, and there's a qualitative simultaneous design. So probably there's research questions that could be answered only by qualitative design. Then you have capital quan, the small quan. So it's quantitatively oriented. When there's a quantitative simultaneous design, probably different types of quantitative research altogether. Or you have a capital qual plus small quan, which means that is qualitatively oriented, and then you have a small quantitative aspect. Or capital quan plus a small qual, it means it is quantitatively oriented with a small percentage of probably qualitative research that is being explored. So let's go on to sequential designs. So here, uh, capital qual going to small qual. So qualitatively oriented project followed by a second qualitative project. Then quantitatively oriented, this one, oriented project, followed by a second quantitative project, which is, I think, a smaller scale. Then capital qual, R, then there's R to the right, quantitatively oriented project, followed by a quantitative project, or capital quan, with a symbol again to the right for qual. It's a quantitatively oriented project, followed by a qualitative project. So what are the advantages of MMR? So mixed methods research provides strengths that offset the weakness of both quantitative and qualitative research. It provides more comprehensive evidence for studying a research problem than either quantitative or qualitative research alone, or it helps answer questions that cannot be answered by qualitative or quantitative approaches alone, and it encourages researchers to collaborate across the sometimes adversarial relationship between quantitative and qualitative researchers. So that's why I'm saying this. And number four, because I think most quantitative researchers, they think they really avoid the qualitative aspect because uh, it is not easy to quantify. It's not easy to quantify emotions or words compared to numbers, which could be described easily by statistics. Okay? So the fifth advantage that the use of multiple worldviews or paradigms rather than the typical association of certain paradigms for quantitative researchers and others for qualitative researchers. Six is that it is practical. The researcher is free to use all methods possible to address a research problem. Individuals tend to solve problems using both numbers and words. The inductive and deductive thinking are combined. Then it employs skills in observing people as well as recording behavior. Then another advantage of MMR is that all methods of data collection have limitations. The use of multiple methods can neutralize or cancel out some of the disadvantages of certain methods. Then mixing different types of methods can strengthen a study. Then because social phenomena are so complex, different kinds of methods are needed to best understand these complexities. So what are the challenges, guys, in doing MMR? So first is that it is not easy. So even in the graduate level, doing an MMR is not an easy task to do. So it takes time and resources to collect and analyze both quantitative and qualitative data. It complicates the procedures of research and requires clear presentation if the reader is going to be able to sort out the different procedures. Then the investigators are often trained in only one form of inquiry. So this is true. There are a lot of researchers are either trained only in quantitative or only in qualitative, and mixed method requires that they know both forms of data. Then what are the required skills? So you have to have knowledge of various research methods used, understand presumptions underlying each research method, working knowledge of analytic procedures and tools related to both quantitative and qualitative research, the ability to understand and interpret results from the different methods, the willingness to accept and forego methodological prejudices from training from prior discipline, understanding of different disciplines, audiences, and appropriate studies where mixed methods are acceptable. So these are the references, guys. So this would all be for this week. We're going to meet during our time so that we're going to discuss the next activity that you're going to do. Okay. Take care, guys.